Gungrave is ridiculous. I don't understand how an anime based on a poorly fleshed out PS2 game could become this masterpiece of an anime. I guess it goes to show you that art could be hiding behind any rock. So the story of Gungrave is too difficult to cover in great length without spoilers, so I'll give you a very broad overview. Basically, episode 1 focuses on Beyond the Grave and has him fighting these monster guys with his really cool machine gun pistol and his coffin gun. From there, episodes 2 to 14 cover the backstory of the main characters, and then episode 15 is basically episode 1 again, but with the new angle and context to who all the different characters actually are. From then on, it focuses on the retribution of Beyond the Grave and plays out the story to a solid and concrete ending. I will admit the angle of starting in the middle of the story and then fleshing out the backstory from there felt a little weird to me. At best, it was confusing and gave you the wrong impression about how the anime was going to go, and at worst, it was full of spoilers that ruined some aspects. That being said, I didn't really mind it, and it added a bit of impending doom to the story knowing how things turned out from the first episode. To give a bit of background about the story, this one is violent. Almost no one in this entire story is a good person. These guys are punks, gangsters, assassins, thieves, etc. This is basically a story about the Japanese mafia and the rise of the main characters through its ranks. Though the characters have ambitions and believe in the Code of Iron, which forbids betrayal, the fact that they are all extremely criminal people adds a unique twist. What I find interesting is the less relatable and good the characters were, the more sympathetic I felt towards them. This anime had me in tears many, and I mean many, times. In fact, by the end I was even buying the nonsense Code of Iron, and believing that doing insane and criminal activities to protect your family and loved ones actually made sense, and that the characters really weren't all that bad. Though on the surface this is a tale of vengeance, really it's more of a tale of friendship, growing up, trying to achieve happiness through strength, power, and loyalty, and coming to realize far too late that true happiness came from the carefree times of the past. By the end, every character you're supposed to hate makes you feel sympathetic and really just makes you feel sad. In fact, over and over I just felt sad. No one was really happy with what they had because it was never enough, and they all sacrificed what truly made them happy for nonsense that just held them down. Luckily, the ending is quite satisfying, and I felt that the final episode was one of the best I've seen in any anime. I can't go into details without major spoilers, but I will say that it put the sad and satisfying, but still left me with a smile on my face. The art in this anime is gritty. It has bloody and violent moments, and the anime isn't afraid to show them. The character designs are done well, and I think the artists do a great job of aging the characters throughout the timeline. I'll also say that the ogre men and superiors are done really well. They're quite unique, and some of them are pretty horrifying in nature. I think that overall, the art in this anime was great. The sound in this anime is also quite good. The music enhances the emotional sections, and the fighting and gun sounds are all done well. The voice actors put forth a good performance. And finally, we have the characters. I think the characters in this anime are what push it over the top and make it fantastic. Even those which are barely fleshed out make you feel for them and their plights. Though most of these guys are doing bad things, you still feel sympathy for them and their situations because they live by a code. In fact, their struggles with the code and how to deal with friends' betrayal of the code is a major plot point and driver of character development. There are at least a few instances where characters repeat mistakes of past characters for a very similar reason and finally come to understand why they did what they did. So who are my favorite characters? I'd have to say Harry is an obvious choice, as the fight to reach the top and his foolish ambition make for an extremely interesting character. I also really enjoyed Brandon and his quiet demeanor. How he evolved throughout the story and his views on protecting his loved ones and loyalty were truly honorable amongst thieves. His struggle between those two and how to reconcile them definitely made for some very interesting moments. And finally, there's Big Daddy, the boss of it all. His idea of harmony and the idea of creating a huge organization which never betrays and was always loyal put him in many tough circumstances of having to deal with people who stepped out of line, but at the end of the day you'll come to respect his code and the mission he was trying to accomplish, even if he was the head of a huge crime family which caused countless deaths and stole countless amounts of money. Alright, so time to answer that number one most important question. Should you watch this anime? Alright, so the kind of people who would like this anime. Would you enjoy an anime with a solid story development that focuses on the grittier aspects of the mafia and the struggles of various members? Would you enjoy strong character development and a tale of redemption with many sad but relatable characters? And do you like stories that blend real-world elements with some fantastic and above-the-top elements as well? So the kind of people who might not like this anime. So if you watched only episode 1 of this anime, and you're looking for a tale of vengeance and beyond the grave fighting monsters for the entire anime, you'll likely be disappointed. Do you dislike violence in general and shudder at uncomfortable and violent moments? Do you dislike betrayal and other sad elements in anime? So in summary, I thought Gungrave was excellent. The studio did a great job of adapting what was a mediocre PS2 game into a great anime. The characters are well developed and written so well that regardless of their evil acts, you get a true sense of their emotions and motivations, which end up making you very sympathetic and makes them overall very compelling characters. If you're interested in a violent but solid anime with great character development and a solid story, I definitely suggest checking this one out. Well, that's it for me. As always, I'm your host Joe, and this is GBE Reviews. If you enjoyed this video, click like and subscribe and share with a friend. Thanks again, Johnny.